Yes?
You?
That's a good one. What's your name?
Mr. Yeager. How do you do?
In his $39 suit and $3 shirt, Thomas Yeager didn't have the air of a man who might make a sizable contribution to Nero Wolfe's bank balance. I admitted him anyway.
I'll have to tell you who I am, of course.
Not unless it's material.
Else there was no use coming.
Now, fire away.
This is in the strictest of confidence.
Yes, well, of course. Unless you're loaded with something too heavy for me, like murder or treason.
Other sins only speak. Murder shrieks out. Treason doth never prosper. Fear not, Mr. Goodwin, I am loaded with neither.
Oh, good.
My name is Thomas Yeager. I'm vice president of Continental Plastics, and I think I'm being followed.
Mr. Yeager, is it? Listen, that's kindergarten stuff. I mean, any reputable agency...
What agency would have a man as good as you?
Hey, well, even if I'm half as good as I think I am, it would be a shame to waste me spotting a tail.
Ah, but this is special. I suspect I'm being followed only at certain times. I expect to be followed when I leave my home at 34 East 68th Street at 7 this evening to go across the park to 156 West 82nd Street. You see, I don't want it known that I have any connection with that address. If I'm not followed, that would be the end of it. Until I go the next time, of course.
Well, which is more important to you, not to be followed or to identify the...
They're both important. Excuse me. I'll expect you a little before 7.
No, hold on, please, if you will. Now, at 7 o'clock, you have to leave your house. Go over 2nd Avenue, walk 30 paces, you'll see a lunchroom. In front of the lunchroom, there will be a taxi. Go up to the taxi driver and say, you need a shave. He will say to you, my face is tender. Give him the address, get in the cab, sit back and relax.
I knew you'd be the man for it. Measure your mind's height by the shadow it casts.
I often do.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy, gotta make sure.
You know, I could die of a heart attack. Are you crazy?
Sorry.
Come on, I gotta go. I gotta tell him what to put on the front page.
You never leave the building before midnight.
It's because I'm always giving the mayor advice. What is it?
All right, what do you got on a guy named Thomas Yeager, Vice President, Continental Plastics?
Not much, but I could have the morgue send stuff up. Why?
He's real.
Well, Continental Plastics, one of the big ones, and he's been vice president 5 years now. Come on, that's it. All this for that?
That's it.
I can go now?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh, just remember, treason never does prosper.
Okay.
Shoot it! Shoot the wall! Come on! Over here! Over here! Pass it! Pass it! Come on! He takes a clear shot. Over here! He scores! Where'd the ball go? There it is! Let's get out of here!
It's 7:30. Where is he?
All I know is where he is.
I'm gonna go phone him. If he comes while I'm gone, have trouble starting your engine until I come back out.
Mrs. Yeager's residence.
Hello. Can I speak to Mr. Yeager?
Who is this, please?
With Kramer and Stebbins at Yeager's place, my curiosity was piqued. I needed more information from Lon.
Coffee, please.
Here.
How the hell Did you know that Thomas G. Yeager was going to be murdered when you saw me 3 hours ago?
Well, I didn't. I don't. I merely was wanting to know.
Thank you. All right, well, anyway, I appreciate the page 1 box. Nero Wolfe scoops cops again. How does it sound? Nero Wolfe, private eye extraordinaire, was delving deep into the Yeager murder hours before the body was even discovered. Meanwhile, his lackey, Archie Goodwin, saw this reporter at 5:55
hold on.
p.m.
The whole world knows I'm not a lackey. I'm not a lackey. I'm a flunky.
Yes, you are. So give.
All right, well, you need to pretend for a moment that I did not know Thomas Yeager was killed until you told me. No, just pretend. When did they find the body?
10 after 7. These 2 kids playing ball. They chase a stray into this construction site, and there the body is, wrapped up nicely in a tarp.
How did they know he was murdered?
Well, he had a big hole in his head, wasn't made by his finger. Apparently, the body had been there since the night before.
You 2 guys call this in?
Yeah, no, wait a minute. They hauled his body over a pile of gravel and then tucked him in with a tarp?
Yeah, I only report the news.
Thomas Yeager speaking at the banquet of the National Plastics Association.
Archie, I was sitting there with this entire Yeager file open on my desk when the flash came, and in about an hour, the whole city desk is going to be wondering how come I was such a genius to know to ask for that file, and if I tell them, some benevolent soul is going to want to tell the cops.
Yes, isn't that you want a milkshake? I'm gonna get it. Can I have a milkshake, please? All right, strawberry. Why did it take so long for them to discover the body?
Nobody was working there. Something wrong with the equipment. Would you tell me what's going on here, please?
Look, I know absolutely nothing about I know nothing, absolutely nothing about Thomas Yeager except what I have read in your file.
That's
and
on the record. What about between us?
Come off it. I'm offering you a deal here. If you forget my curiosity about Thomas Yeager, I will put you on my Christmas card list.
Christmas? Cohen is spelled C-O-H-E-N.
I wanted to go investigate on 82nd Street, but intelligence, guided by experience, told me Wolfe needed to be informed in person or he would refuse to play.
The quarterly tax payments will be due in 37 days.
Must you harp on the obvious?
I would like permission to dig up a client.
By what modus? Sandwich board?
It's funny. You're very funny. No, I have a target. Well, a possible target, anyway. This afternoon, a man named Thomas Yeager came by and hired me to follow him to a specific address and to see if I could spot a tail.
Oh, so you have a client?
No.
No?
Thomas Yeager is dead. His body was found very near that specific address at 7 p.m.
Then it's over.
No.
No.
No, because the client is not dead.
Archie.
Yeah, I suppose it would be more accurate to say we never had a client because the man who came to see me was not Thomas Yeager. You see, this is Thomas Yeager giving a speech.
Beyond all doubt.
Yes, sir.
And his body was found near the address named by the imposter Yeager.
Yeah, in the block there on 82nd Street is no place for some corporate big shot.
Then you will spend the evening at the typewriter. Record your conversation with the imposter verbatim.
Oh, you're the boss.
So the body lay there all day.
Yes, very, very well hidden, I might add.
If he was killed elsewhere and brought to 82nd Street to impress or implicate someone at that address, the body would not have been hidden. It would have been displayed. So can we assume Yeager was killed inside and the body hidden in the closest spot?
Doesn't account for the tarp over him, but no theory can.
Well, there's no polite way to say it. 156 82nd Street was a slum. But the superintendent's store had something peculiar for a slum. An abloy door lock, for which you have to be willing to shell out $61.50.
You want something?
Yes, I'm here to see the superintendent. Did I just stammer when I said that?
Are you a policeman?
No, a newspaperman. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to say something right now, but the only thing I can think of is, will you marry me?
Papa! A newspaperman!
Maria.
Name's Goodwin. I'm with the Gazette. I want to rent a room for $100 a week.
No rooms.
Okay, $200. I want to get pictures of people coming to see the scene of a murder.
I say no rooms.
$300.
No.
All right, $500.
You're loco.
I'm loco. You're snooting your nose at $500 a week. What's your name?
Cesar Perez. I'm a citizen of the United States of America.
Yes, well, so am I. I'm not with the Gazette. I work for Nero Wolfe. And we'd prefer not to tell the police that we know Jaeger was killed here on Sunday.
Get out, get out, get out of this house.
Did you kill Jaeger?
I got a knife.
I got this.
Estamos aquí, César.
Él sabe, él sabe.
Para con eso. Va a pensar que son secretos. Habla inglés. My husband did not kill Mr. House. Mr. Jaeger, we call him Mr. House because he owns the building. How do you know he was killed here?
Well, that might take a while. Do you have a room inside with some chairs? Or...
No. We sit down with friends.
I can stand on my feet if you can. Now, who was Mr. House coming to see on Sunday?
I don't know.
Why don't you try that again?
Have you ever been up there?
Look, I'm asking the questions here.
He came around 7 o'clock. He asked my husband to bring him roast pheasant and oysters from the usual place. If someone come later, we don't hear. We weren't supposed to hear.
Have you ever been up to the room?
We clean every day.
Ah, so you got keys.
María, vete a tu cuarto.
Pero mamá...
Ándate de aquí. Go.
Well. Have you cleaned here since Sunday?
See, yesterday morning.
Why'd you kill him? Because of Maria?
Me? No.
All right, look, you got rid of the fingerprints here, I understand that, but there's prints all over that tarp. And if one of them matches yours, you're done.
Felita.
Está bien. You are a private detective, so we pay you $100.
No, not if you killed Jaeger.
I told him he must put on gloves, but he didn't. My husband come running to me. What could we do? If we call a policeman, we know what would happen. And I couldn't sleep with that thing up there. Someone's coming up.
All right, look, don't think, don't lie. Why would you cover him in a tarp?
He was dead. A man died, you cover him.
Okay, well, you should have worn gloves. Now, stand back.
Oh, thank God. It's Mrs. Perez, isn't it?
We don't know you.
I do. It's Meg Duncan, the lovely star of Backdoor Garden.
Who are you?
I saw your show last week from the 8th row. You were wonderful.
Do you really think so?
Now, I'm not a cop. I work for Nero Wolfe.
Oh, you're Nero Wolfe's Archie Goodwin.
Yes.
Well, I just came to get something that belongs to me. It's something with my initials on it, okay? It's a cigarette case.
When did you leave it here?
I didn't say I had.
How did it get here?
Does that matter, Mr. Goodwin?
Why did you kill Jaeger?
You brute! Oh, you are a man, aren't you?
No, I'm just a working detective. Did you kill Jaeger?
Of course not. I know I can't bribe you, Mr. Goodwin, but look, just get me my cigarette case and give it to me whenever you want, and I'll pay whatever you say. $1,000?
Well, my stock is going up. You know, just a little while ago, Mrs. Perez dangled 100 in front of me, and now you're offering me $1,000.
Yes.
Wow.
However, too many clients can be worse than too few. If I happen to find your cigarette case, you can come and retrieve it at Nero Wolfe's office at, say, 2:30. You don't have a matinee today.
But why can't you
And
find...
give me your key.
My key?
Give me your key.
My key?
The key that got you in here?
My key. Right. Here is my key.
Thank you for coming. Run along.
Yes. Yes. But why can't you...
Please, I'll try to find your case.
Until 2:30, Mr. Goodwin.
Now, when she saw you, she said, "Thank God, Mrs. Perez."
She must have seen me when she come in. I don't know her. We were paid not to know her.
Yeah, and you're very good at it. The only reason I believe you is the expression on your husband's face when he told me about the tarp. Now, I'm going to send a man to stay here. You are to supply him with food, which I will pay for. I expect to see you at Nero Wolfe's office today at 3 o'clock. Do you got that? All right. I need you to leave so I can have a look around.
You take things?
If I take something that you think I shouldn't, you can call a cop. I couldn't find Saul, so I sent for Fred and told him to pack a bag for a week. Then I got to work investigating. New home. I hope you enjoy it.
I'll make do.
Won't see them.
Well, naturally you don't like it. I mean, there may be 20 women with a key to that room. I realize you won't want to be involved with that kind of setup.
Nonsense.
Nonsense.
Yes. Modern satyr is part man, part pig, part jackass. He hasn't even the charm of the roguish. He doesn't lean gracefully against a tree with a flute in his hands. The preposterous bower of carnality you have described as a sorry makeshift. But at least Mr. Yeager tried. A pig and a jackass, yes, yes. But the flute strain was in him, as it once was in me. No doubt he deserved to die, but I would welcome a sufficient inducement to expose his killer.
You would?
Certainly.
Oh.
But your objective was to find an acceptable client. I concede your craft, your finesse, I even felicitate you, but where are we to send a bill?
Well, we know about the preposterous bower.
And are we blackmailers?
All right, all right. What about the man who posed as Yeager?
Yes. Manifestly, he has an educated fondness for words. Else there would be no use in coming. Extraordinary. Else instead of or.
Yes, it was the first thing I noticed.
Then, merely talking along, he said, "Other sins only speak, murder shrieks out." John Webster, the Duchess of Malfi. And measure your mind's height by the shadow it casts. Robert Browning. Had to look that up. Browning repels me.
Me too.
Was he trying to impress you?
Impress me? No.
just so. He had them on the tip of his tongue. He's a pedagogue.
A what?
He teaches literature.
Oh. Oh, well, that's a relief.
If he knew Jaeger was dead, perhaps because he killed him, why did he come here with that taradiddle?
Well, you know, if he killed Jaeger and then he came here, then he's cracked. But I saw him, you know, and he wasn't. He wasn't cracked.
Then he did not know. I would like to speak with him.
No, I would too, and that's why I put Fred there.
Oh, you got Fred there because I cannot now merely say that the incident is closed. Yes, Fritz?
A Miss Duncan, sir.
Well, did he find it?
Yes, he did. And you may have it back for $50,000.
50,000? Oh, but you don't mean that. You can't.
Do not smoke a cigarette in my office. If you wish to smoke, go out on the stoop. Put it out!
All right, I'll put it out.
Are you familiar with the statutes regarding the suppression of evidence?
My cigarette case isn't evidence.
I didn't say it was.
And I wasn't in that room on Sunday night.
For us to return a cigarette case that might convict a murderer is far too great a risk for $1,000. You may have it for $50,000 with a certified check.
Well, why not $1 million?
That would depend on how you answer my questions.
You haven't asked me any.
When was the last time you were in that room?
I didn't say I was in that room.
That's egregious. You had keys.
Oh, my God. Mr. Wolfe, this could ruin my career. Must you drag me into it?
I did not drag you into that room this morning, madam.
Oh, God.
Mr. Wolfe has asked you not to smoke.
When you did visit it, I mean the room, were there others?
No.
But you knew there were others.
I knew there were others.
He wanted you to know. He derived pleasure not only from his present companion, but from her awareness of her colleagues. Many colleagues. Surely he was not silent about them. Surely he spoke of them. In comparison, praise or derogation. Madam, if you wish to have this episode pass into history as quickly as possible, tell me about the others.
Are you going to keep my cigarette case?
For the present, yes.
Then you have me at your mercy. I wish I'd clawed your eyes out.
Can I get your autograph?
Vuelvo a repetir.
Sí.
Nosotros no sabíamos nada.
Miente.
Tú eres un
Él
puerco.
hizo algo horrible a María.
¿Qué es lo que dijo? ¿Qué es lo que dijo? ¿Cómo se atreve? ¡No!
Y usted lo mató.
No. Vamos,
Es verdad,
vamos a cenar.
es verdad,
No
señor.
podemos estar aquí escuchando esto. Vamos. ¿Cómo se atreve a incriminarme? ¿Qué es eso? Vamos. Dice que no lo mató. ¿Qué es lo que no lo mató? Tú eres un cerdo.
I won't insist you fill me in verbatim.
She killed him.
Of course, after all, he was paying them $300 a month to keep his tenement.
She discovered that Jaeger had debauched her daughter, and she killed him.
She said that?
Certainly not. She resented the implication with fury.
Yes, well, so do I. Maria is not debauched.
Call Fred in.
If and when she orgies with a satyr, he will lean gracefully against a tree while playing the flute.
Orgy is not a verb.
It is now. Nero Wolfe's office.
Archie, I got one.
It's Fred. He's caught a fish. Instructions?
What good would it do to give you instructions? Fred.
Yes, sir. She ain't hurt any. I wish she was. Look what she did to me.
Oh. Did you tell her who you are?
No, I wouldn't do it a favor. That's her bag over there.
Oh.
Who are you?
I will unwrap you in a minute, Miss Julia McGee. Yeah, Nero Wolfe wants to talk to anybody who has a key to this room.
Let me up!
The police, of course, would be interested, too. Well, why don't you think it over there while we unwrap you, Fred?
I am Mr. Yeager's private secretary. I came here to get the dictation book I left here.
Oh, there's no dictation book here. Maybe you left it somewhere else.
So this is Yeager's room. Well, now that I know that...
No, Fred, you don't know that. Less you know, the better. Now, I lied to her, and she fell for it.
I am not answering any of your questions. Where is there a phone?
Follow me. Or I will follow you.
There was a man there, and they attacked me, and they've taken me to Nero Wolfe's.
You're working for me?
Yes, of course.
All right, then.
Mr. Aiken will be here in 20 minutes.
And who is Mr. Aiken? Aiken?
Benedict Aiken? He's the president of Continental Plastics.
When did you leave your dictation book there?
I should let you know that I'm not going to answer any questions until Mr. Aiken gets here.
Oh, that won't do. I can't prevent him from coming, but he'll enter when it's convenient for me.
Fine. I went to that room this evening because Mr. Aiken wanted me to see if there was anything there to connect Mr. Yeager with it.
And he provided you with keys?
No, Mr. Yeager did. I had been there on a few occasions to take dictation.
And you think it a suitable milieu for business dictation?
No, I thought it was very vulgar for him to ask me there. But he was my boss, and it wasn't my place to think. Finally, I decided that my loyalty shouldn't be to Mr. Yeager, but to the corporation. It paid my salary, after all. So a month ago, I told Mr. Aiken. And that's all I'm saying until he gets here.
When Miss McGee told me about the room, I asked her to mention it to no one, but not to refuse to go back there again. I wanted time to consider how to deal with this.
Did you mention it to Yeager?
No. I was about to take it up with my board of directors when we received news of his death. Naturally, that was unpleasant. Well, very unpleasant that he had been murdered, but it would be disastrous for Continental Plastics if the existence of that room became known. You won't deny that's a legitimate concern.
Legitimate and desperate. You cannot possibly hope that his connection will never be divulged.
No, I don't hope. I act. And I will pay you to tell me how you learned of the room.
Oh, I don't sell information, sir. I sell services.
I'm buying them. I'm hiring you.
To do what?
Whatever is necessary to protect the reputation of my corporation.
I can't undertake not to disclose Mr. Yeager's connection. Events might take charge. The only alternative would be for me to take charge of events.
How?
By guiding them. The most feasible plan, seems to me, is to provide the police with a solution to the murder which does not involve that room.
And if that proves to be impossible?
It will have been a waste of your money. My self-esteem is not up to tackling the impossible, sir.
All right, then.
Archie, the typewriter, 2 carbons. On behalf of the corporation, I hereby hire Nero Wolfe to perform the task of protecting
Nero
said
Wolfe will
corporation.
disclose no facts unless he is compelled to do so by his legal obligation as a citizen and a licensed detective. Your fee isn't specified.
It will depend on what I do.
Then who decides if you have faithfully observed that provision?
Reason and good faith jointly applied.
How did you discover that room?
I don't start a difficult job by babbling.
Don't be absurd. You're working for me.
Confound it, sir. Do you want me to do this job or no?
It's not what I want. It's what I am stuck with. You are my handle. Miss McGee?
One thing we had learned, Julia McGee was a liar. No man had his secretary come to that room for dictation, not even if she was a lump, which Julia McGee definitely was not.
Was a whittling to take this job. All I can do is flounder around in the slush.
Yeah. Yesterday we had too many clients. Today we have only one, but that's still too many because we cannot possibly fill his order.
Nothing in that room is connected to Jaeger. Nothing. It's hopeless.
Ah, he owned it. It will be an item in his estate.
The house, not the room. We could try a coup. We could offer Mr. and Mrs. Perez $20,000 to move to some far corner of the earth, provided they sign a confession, and deliver it to the police once they're safely away. We could do that.
Wonderful. Only has one flaw. They didn't kill him.
That's your opinion.
My opinion. It's an opinion that has damn good legs under it. How about some, good old-fashioned detective work here? Means, motive, opportunity. Oh, sure, you flee because you know reason can't crack this. I mean, what this case needs is a good old-fashioned dose of genius, but apparently you haven't turned the switch on. Or luck. We could use some luck, but I don't know where you keep it hidden. Just in case.
As opposed to rouge.
So which are you using?
I'm going to use the rouge for color.
No, you need that book. You're not cooking for me.
Pardon?
$14,682,235.50. What is this?
That is the cash reserves of Continental Plastics. After I finished sweeping the sidewalk, I had nothing else left to do. I like to keep busy, so... Well,
maybe you have some luck after all.
Nero Wolfe?
Well, it's his house.
I want to see him.
Well, yes, but normally...
I'm Ellen Yeager. This is Thomas G. Yeager. How much do you want as a retainer?
Ladies and gentlemen, client number 4.
I want you to find out who killed my husband and exactly what happened, and then I will decide what to do about it.
Madam, in the interests of your protection,
Don't bother. I know all about it. He was a sick man. Completely oversexed. I've kept still about it for years, but not anymore.
Shut up! I'm blunt because I can't let you rattle off confidential information under the illusion that you're hiring me. You can't. I've already been engaged to investigate the murder of your husband.
You are not.
Indeed, I am.
No. You're engaged to keep it from being investigated. The board doesn't care about the murderer being caught. All they care about is the corporation. I have a block of stock now, and I don't care. They can't keep me from telling the district attorney about that room if I decide to.
What room?
Oh, you know perfectly well what room. Julia McGee went there last night, and you brought her here. Benedict Aiken told a board member, and he told me. You're Archie Goodwin? I want to see that room. Now, where is it? How much do you want for your retainer?
Archie, the typewriter, 2 carbons. I, Mrs. Thomas Yeager, hereby engage Nero Wolfe to investigate the circumstances of the death of my husband.
Don't you think that this would be a great place for a PTA meeting? What's your name, honey? Oh, don't tell me you're modest. Do you want me to leave?
Yes? No?
Well, maybe I will. And maybe I won't.
Come on, lady.
What's it gonna be? Loosen up. You'll live longer.
If in trying to find the murderer, a conflict exists between his contract with Continental Plastics.
Continental Plastics, it is understood that he will terminate his engagement with Continental Plastics and will adhere to this engagement with me. It is also understood that I, Mrs. Thomas Yeager, will do nothing to interfere with this investigation without giving him notice in advance. This isn't right. I told you I want you to find out who killed my husband and then tell me, and I will decide what to do.
Nonsense. The people of the state of New York will decide what to do.
Well, I'm not going to sign it. I promised my husband I would never sign anything without showing him first. What?
Perhaps you would like me to sign it.
Well, it doesn't do any good to sign the thing. What counts is what you do, not what you sign. Now, how much do you want for a retainer?
I do not ask for a retainer. Nor do I ask for a fee if I discover that you killed your husband.
You won't. Ugh. There was a time when I felt like killing him, but that was years ago when the children were young. Now, how much do you want?
$1.
Now, I want to see that room.
No, not now.
But I want to see that room, and I want to see it now.
You said that you have known for years that your husband was oversexed. You used the word sick yourself, so presumably...
Yes. I asked my doctor if there was something that could be done, but there was no use. My husband wouldn't do it. I have a friend whose husband is an alcoholic. It's the same thing.
You went to see a therapist?
Inspector Kramer of Homicide West has never been a client, and his expression made it clear he hadn't come to ante a retainer.
Greetings. I'd open up, but he has company.
Yeah, I know. Does Mrs. Thomas Yeager ring a bell? She's been here for nearly a half an hour. Open up.
Make yourself at home. I'll go check. Yeah, the man about the chair. His man brought the chair about half an hour ago and wants to discuss it. The chair.
Yes. Mrs. Yeager, Inspector Kramer from the New York City Police Department is at the door. He knows you're here.
He does not. How could would he?
Why do I bother talking in code when you're going to just tell her who it is I'm talking
Yes. Well, presumably, you might be under surveillance.
How dare they me? Oh, I don't believe it. Oh. Am I being followed around?
Good day, Mrs. Yeager.
Am I being followed around?
Well, when there's a murder on the loose, we don't like to take any chances. And for your own protection...
You didn't protect my husband. You didn't even find his body.
Well, there are things to protect you from beside personal violence. Like, making mistakes. If you said anything to Wolfe about your husband's death...
I hired him to find out who killed my husband. If I had anything to tell anybody, I'll tell him, not you. Now get out of my way.
I want to know what you told Wolfe.
Ask him. Goodwin. When are you going to take me to see that room?
As soon as I can.
Hurry up.
Why did you have Goodwin ask Lon Cohen for the dope on Mrs. Yeager 2 hours before Yeager's body was found?
That is specific.
Can you be specific?
Well, I don't know that that's such a good idea, Mr. Gerson. You might get into some trouble.
Oh, somebody there?
Certainly.
I'll call back.
How did you know he was dead?
I didn't know he was dead. Someone, call him X, said something in this room that made Mr. Goodwin ask Mr. Cohen for information. But first, nothing that X said indicated that he knew Yeager was dead, and second, nothing X said was true.
Is X Mrs. Yeager?
No, I wouldn't name him if I could, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. But you're taking a big risk, Wolfe.
Podemos quedarnos.
Vendrán por nosotros y te meterán preso.
Nuestra suerte cambió.
¿Qué haríamos sin ti, César? There is a woman upstairs.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Wait.
No.
Sí, tenemos que decirle. We must tell him.
Maria agrees with me.
Pero yo no.
Do you want me to break the tie?
If you're not an honest man, may the good God help us. Dámelo.
John Morton Seymour, attorney at law.
He gave it to us. He say, Mr. Yeager, tell him to give it to us 48 hours after he died.
A deed. He gave you the house. Wonderful. How long have you known about this?
We didn't know. We were going to go away tonight, but now we fight.
This Mr. Seymour, he said that Mr. Yeager make it so that nobody ever know he own this house. And we must not say he own it. So I say we stay.
Yeager told you, didn't he? That was his mistake. But you knew the house would be yours when he died.
If you listen, do you call us liars?
You got a Bible?
Por supuesto, of course.
All right, I'm gonna choose to believe you. But you better not skip town. That's the worst thing you can do. You.
Why did you do that? This is my room.
Yeah, well, I'm a detective, and as you know, detectives have bad habits. How many times have you been in the room upstairs?
I am not allowed up there.
Ah.
And why should I tell you anyway? So you can go and tell my mother? Excuse me. I shut the door now.
A nice talk with you would have been more desirable. But that will have to wait.
So, what do you like to do on your weekends?
Spend a lot of time with my wife.
Am I intruding?
Oh, it's you. When Fred said that Archie Goodwin was coming, I nearly swooned. I've seen you at the Flamingo.
Any woman who could thaw Fred on assignment was worth a serious look, especially since she was more comfortable here than anyone else so far.
That's not very nice, is it?
Yeah, well, see, I'm only nice when I'm dancing. Mrs. Dinah Howe, 64 Eden Street. Why are you here, Mrs. Howe?
My umbrella.
Oh, right. Well, it's in the closet there. You'll have to manage, though, without it for a while. How'd it get here?
I left it here. You know what? I need a refill. I'll get it myself. Fred?
Why don't you tell me about Thomas Yeager?
I met him about 3 weeks ago. He said he knew of a place that was worth coming. And I came once. I mean, he didn't actually assault me, but never say anything bad about the dead. I am not actually worried about being suspected, but I know how clever they are at tracing things. And well, if things were to get out, my husband might lose his job.
Ah, yes. He works for Continental Plastics?
Oh, no, for NYU. He's a professor. Well, an assistant professor.
Professor, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Of what?
English lit.
Yes. Measure your mind's height by the shadow it casts. Other sins only speak. Murder shrieks out.
Oh, in the name of God,
There's nothing I'd enjoy more than chatting with you, but Mr. Wolfe will be down from the plant room soon.
I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you?
I am the ghost of Thomas G. Yeager. Don't be a sap, you can't get away with it.
We'll see about that.
How do you think I got this address? I just had a little talk with your wife.
That's a lie.
Oh, yeah, Dinah Howe. Hazel eyes, tilts her head a little to the right when she,
Did you see her?
I'm not giving you any more than that. Ask Mr. Wolfe. Get your things. Come on.
Where is my wife?
Mr. Howe, would you like the police to know your name and address?
Until Mr. Goodwin tells me where he saw my wife, I'm explaining nothing.
Very well, Archie.
Yes, your wife. She came to 156 West 82nd Street this afternoon. She had keys.
Your position is futile, Mr. Howe. What did you hope to accomplish by sending Mr. Goodwin on a pointless errand?
You talked to her, Goodwin. What did she tell you?
Yeah, I talked to her, and I gotta tell you, as lies go, it was not a very good one. She said she had been to that apartment only once and hadn't stayed long.
Why did you think that was a lie?
No, I didn't think it was a lie. I knew it was a lie.
Mr. Howe, we have humored you, but our indulgence is not boundless.
My wife shouldn't have married me. She wanted things I couldn't supply. She wanted to do things that I'm not inclined to. So she did them without me. About a year ago, she suddenly had a watch that must have cost $1,000. Then she had a fur coat. And then she started coming home after dawn. I descended into snooping. Curiosity creeps into the homes of the unfortunate, under the names of duty or pity.
Pascal.
Nietzsche. At least my wife came home that evening. I didn't ask her where she'd been. I hadn't asked her that for a year. But I found out who he was. I found a telephone number scribbled on a scrap of paper in her purse.
So you came to see Mr. Goodwin?
Yes. I knew that when Mr. Yeager didn't turn up, Mr. Goodwin would find out why. He would describe me to Yeager, and Yeager would tell my wife. And she would know that I know. You see, that's what was most important. I couldn't tell her. I wanted her to know that I knew. Thank God she wasn't there on Sunday.
Are you sure of that?
Certainly, I'm sure, Mr. Wolfe. We sleep in separate beds, but when she turns over, I hear her.
I seldom feel sorry for people that Wolfe has in a corner. They usually deserve it, but this time I was tempted.
I heard his show is supposed to be very good, so I'm excited. Oh no. I forgot my money. Okay, you two keep going and I'll catch up with you later, okay?
Archie, we've received a letter from Farmer Jenkins. You remember him from Putnam County. He would like to know how many starlings we'll be requiring this year. Please reply to him that we will take the usual 40.
Oh, starling pie.
Wolfe was so desperate to avoid work, he surprised me. But then he finally caved in.
You know, your exclusion of Mr. and Mrs. Perez is no longer valid. They knew they would get the house. Nor is that pathetic imbecile Howe excluded. He could have taken the keys from his wife and killed Yeager and took some action that would make it seem highly unlikely that he did.
Well, it only has 3 holes as far as I can see.
Well, I see 4. None beyond patching.
The problem is that we don't have a single card to play. You realize that? Our big ace that we know about the room, it's worthless. The longer we keep it up our sleeve, the more ticklish it becomes when the police fight. Good night to you, too.
Hello? See?
I told you we sit down with friends. Are you a friend? You can do nothing. Nobody can. Not even God himself.
That's the trouble with a time like this. There's no room for anything except she's dead. But I have room. I have room for wanting to know who killed her.
A killing.
Cálmate.
Anything about her going out that might have had something to do with Yeager?
She knew nothing about Yeager. She never spoke with him, and she knew nothing about the women who came here.
Well, I don't believe that. Now, she had very good ears. She heard me enter this house.
Okay.
She watched me from this room through this door. She knew about the others.
No. No.
Yeah, but she did.
Maria wouldn't do that.
Why wouldn't a beautiful, intelligent girl be interested in what was happening in her house, just outside her house? It would be absurd for her not to be interested. All right, listen. Have the police been here?
See, in this room.
Did they take anything?
No.
Look, I know this is a very difficult time. But we have to figure out how this happened. I wanted you to go to bed, or if you can't go to bed, go to the kitchen. And if you will, I'd like to stay here and have a look around and see if I can find something that might be helpful.
Vamos. Vamos, querido. Coraje.
All right, Mrs. Perez. Do you have $1?
Why?
Because you are going to hire Nero Wolfe to investigate the death of your daughter. I'm taking all of this back to his office. Now, if the police find it, they'll know about Yeager in the room upstairs.
I'm not sure.
Well, I am sure. And if you are not my client, then I am concealing evidence.
You were right before.
Well, I haven't earned any medals yet, okay? You are now a client. Now, the police will almost certainly be by here to ask questions. Under no circumstances do you mention Yeager, all right? The man upstairs, you've been making breakfast for? Don't bother making breakfast anymore, because I'm going to send him home. Now, I'm going to gather this stuff up, bring it over to Mr. Wolfe's office. Miss Perez, tell your husband we're friends.
Sí, gracias.
I've danced with that one once or twice at the Flamingo.
Yeah, once or twice.
Yes.
Why are there no sketches of Meg Duncan?
Well, because she doesn't need one. Name and face already attached. Yes.
With all my love, Meg. So when she saw a woman she did not know, Maria made a sketch.
Yes, and put a date on the sketch. Julie McGee was there last Sunday.
Yes, there she is. So this Julia McGee either killed him or she found him dead.
Well, that would eliminate the Perez family. Yeah, I'm not crowing. I wish I'd been wrong. Then Maria would still be alive.
No, it's mere conjecture.
No. Our theory is that whoever killed Yeager killed Maria. Or we haven't got a theory. She saw the killer, made contact. She wouldn't have done it for the hell of it. She would have wanted to make a deal.
Okay. Get Fred. And Miss McGee. How much do we owe Fred?
We are now out 3 C's on the Yeager investigation and have a total of $2 in retainers.
Fred received his instructions without a blink. He has the idea that there is no limit to what Wolfe can do, so there's no risk involved. I would like to be present when Wolfe tells him to go to Moscow and tail Nikita Khrushchev.
Miss McGee, you brought your boss. Right this way.
Why did you send for Miss McGee? I am your employer. You should notify me.
Fred?
Yes, sir.
You wish to speak?
Yes, sir. Last Sunday, when I was covering the house at 82nd Street, she came after dark and entered the building.
And why did you not speak of this on Tuesday?
Well, when I ran into her on Tuesday, it was a real tangle, and... Well, after I remembered that, I didn't want to be a witness in a murder case.
So you withheld vital information for 36 hours?
I'm sorry, sir. I know I let you down.
Just go to the front room and wait. Why did you kill him, Miss McGee?
Don't answer.
Sir, I dare contrive a solution that will satisfy the conditions of our contract only by knowing the truth. Miss McGee!
I am ordering you.
I didn't kill him. I came in there and he was dead. He was dead.
And what did you do?
Nothing. I just sat there and... I don't know, after a few minutes I left.
Did you tell anyone? Anyone at all?
No.
Not Mr. Aiken?
No.
You said your loyalties should be to the corporation, not Mr. Yeager, when you betrayed him.
I didn't betray him.
Betray. Verb, second definition. To prove faithless to one who trusts.
I am still completely loyal.
But if you went there that night, not to take dictation, but for activities more congenial to the decor, I assume that you had decided to switch your loyalty back to Mr. Yeager.
My loyalty has nothing to do with it, Mr. Wolfe. Mr. Yeager asked me to take dictation, and I did.
It's futile. I'll learn nothing from you.
Sir, I don't think she killed him, and I don't think you do. You're only making things worse. Wolfe.
Oh, sorry. No, when he gets like this, it's like we're not even here, see?
He can hear me.
No, he can't hear you. He can't hear anything, anyone. No.
Miss McGee, give me your keys.
What?
Your keys!
Do you call this protecting the interests of the corporation?
How the deuce did you get to be the president? You spout, and you sputter, and you say I have made it worse? If I hadn't resorted to humbug, we would not now know that Mr. Yeager was in that room when he was killed. And I might have blundered fatally.
Humbug, what?
Mr. Durkin was never at the house on Sunday.
Oh, you tricky bastard.
I am now gravely compromised. If I had my share of prudence, I would be on the telephone with Inspector Kramer. Where were you last night from 9 o'clock to midnight?
It's none of your damn business.
Very well. Miss McGee?
No, don't answer him. He's a liar and a blackmailer.
No. I want to. I was having dinner with friends, and I got home after midnight.
What exactly do you want, Mr. Wolfe?
If I lie, what does it matter?
Ridiculous.
Nice way to treat our one-paying client.
You realize that we've never been so close to catastrophe and ignominy.
Yes, sir.
Now, it is imperative that we find the murderer before Mr. Kramer finds that room.
Errands?
Fred, you will have lunch with us. Get Saul and Ori. Have them here by this afternoon.
And what about me?
Presumably that woman, Meg Duncan, was at the theater last evening.
Well, presumably I can find out. The play ends at 11. If she made a plan with Maria Perez for 11:30, she wouldn't have to rush to make it.
Instructions after you get Saul and Ori. You've already made your appointments, haven't you?
Yes, but there's time. My date with the actress is not for any particular minute.
Well, you better get going.
No, I'll stick around and provide the details.
No, we won't be needing you.
Well, could make some pointed remarks right now, but
He occasionally shows remarkably good judgment.
She's got a headache. She can't see you.
I made an appointment.
Is that Archie Goodwin, Matilda?
He says he is.
Send him in.
Well, you heard him, Matilda. Send him in.
Well,
I haven't got a headache. Sit here.
So, where were you yesterday evening between 9 and midnight?
I wish I'd clawed your eyes out.
You've already used that line. Did you ever see or speak to Maria Perez?
I don't know who that is.
She was murdered last night. Now, she had a secret stash that she kept in her chest. In it were 3 photographs of you. One of them was signed. Now, there was also some money. 9 $5 bills.
Oh my God, the money.
Yes, oh my God, the money.
Do bills show fingerprints?
Certainly. Now, let's get to why and when you gave her the money.
I don't remember. But is that really important? Because you know what I'd like to be talking about? Actually, what I'd rather be doing right now is...
Yes. The time, the place, the girl. It's all a splendid combination, but now's not the time, and besides, I'm not sure your motives are pure.
You have your hand on me.
Yes. It's a conditioned reflex. It's a wonder that I didn't use both hands. Now, about the money.
Ah, yes. The money. About a year ago, she sent a note to my dressing room. She signed it with her address. That address. I asked her backstage. At first, she wanted theater tickets for her and her friends. And then she decided she wanted hush money. Well, that's what she called it.
Hush money.
$5 a month. Have you seen her? Aren't you surprised?
Surprised? No, nothing surprises me.
She was so proud. She was so beautiful, and my God, so proud. She told me about watching. When she heard the street door open, she'd turn out her light and open the door a crack. I knew she was doing it when I went there. It gave me a feeling. I don't know why. It made it more exciting that she was looking. Come a little closer.
Yes. Do you like to watch?
I like to be watched.
Yeah. Well, watch out. Me, I gotta go finish my chores. Don't worry about your money. Hush money is recoverable. I had no appointment with Mr. or Mrs. Austin Howe because I preferred to have one of them alone, but it didn't work out that way.
Did you find your wife yesterday?
What do you want?
Nothing startling. You probably know about the murder of a girl named Maria Perez.
No, I haven't been out today. Who is Maria Perez?
Mr. Wolfe is wondering how you spent your evening, and your wife's.
Balls?
Balls. Is that by Browning? Sounds more Elizabethan, although I'm not up on Elizabethans.
You want to know how my wife spent the evening? Why don't you ask her? Dinah. The girl murdered last night, what was her name?
Maria Perez.
Mr. Goodwin wants to know where you were last night. I think you'd better tell him. He saw you at that place yesterday. And he might as well talk to you now.
Austin, no.
I told you yesterday that I wanted her to know that I knew. Because I couldn't tell her. I was afraid of what might happen. Well, now it has. Tell him where you were last night.
Here. I was here, Austin.
And was I with you?
Yes. Yes, Austin.
You've seen her now, you can go.
No, no.
She's your wife, not mine. But I would like to know if a doctor has seen her yet.
No.
No. Do you want me to send for a doctor, Mrs. Howe?
No.
I'm talking to her!
No.
Send her a bottle of champagne.
I was more interested in my next errand, which was finding out how Mrs. Yeager spent the previous evening. Inheriting widows of murdered men always deserved attention.
Are we going somewhere?
Yes, you're gonna take me to see that room now. The car's waiting.
No, not now. No, it's not a good time.
You said you would take me as soon as you got the chance.
I tried to call you last time. You weren't home.
I certainly was. My son was here for dinner with his wife. Now, come on.
Not now, not today.
I thought so. There is no such room.
Yes, there's a room. I've seen the room with my own eyes.
I don't believe you. Benedict Aiken invented it, or Nero Wolfe, or you did. You've been making a fool of me. I'm gonna call the district attorney.
Oh, I mean, yeah, just please, if you will. Now, you are looking into my eyes. We are looking at each other. Am I a liar?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna have to see the room. But no chauffeur, a taxi, because we gotta cover our tracks.
I'm taking the chauffeur.
No, you can't take a chauffeur.
I am going.
We're taking a taxi. No, you...
Dirty.
Absolutely, we'll get it clean.
Why do you think the person that killed my husband killed that girl?
It's complicated, Ms. Yeager, but it's not a guess.
Where's Maria's mother? I'm gonna speak to her.
You better not, Miss Yeager. It's been a tough time for her. She's taking this pretty hard.
I know how to talk to a mother.
Yeah, sorry to bother you again, Mrs. Press. We just got a few questions I need to ask you. Hope you don't mind. I won't take but too. Goodwin, you. And Mrs. Yeager, you?
Pearlie, yeah. Wolfe thought there might be a connection between the two murders, you know? So, Maria might have seen whoever dumped the body down into the hole there, so that's why. But, yeah, it's incredible. If you and Wolfe are starting to think alike, that would be truly amazing. You could come work for us or something.
Yeah. Since when do you start yapping to me about anything but the weather, Goodwin, huh?
Please, Sergeant. I want to thank you, Mrs. Perez. We've both lost someone very dear to us. It's very kind of you to let us come today, on a day like this. I'll phone you later.
I told you the truth. If my daughter saw anything on Sunday, she would have told me, and she didn't.
Uh-huh. Did she go anywhere on Sunday evening?
No. We always knew where she was.
Yeah. Goodwin, we're going downtown.
Why? Am I under arrest?
Not yet.
Nice to have a choice. Ms. Yeager,
yes.
See you.
I'll see you later.
And Ms. Perez. Come on.
It suited me fine to get Stebbins out of that house. I yawned as I got into the PD car. I'd needed a good yawn all day, but had been too busy to have one.
How long did they keep you?
I came home a little after 1.
Must have been difficult.
It was. I had to keep a wall between two sets of facts, the ones they know and the ones we hope to God they'll never know.
Satisfactory. Mrs. Yeager phoned and told me of your impromptu explanation to Mr. Stebbins. She was impressed. Satisfactory.
Well, well, 2 satisfactories in 1 speech. That's a record. So what's on the program?
Well, Saul found what he was sent to find. And Mr. Aiken and Miss McGee will be here at 12:15. This is the evidence which supports the conjecture that whoever killed Mr. Yeager also killed Maria Perez. My conjecture is that Miss Perez saw someone whose name she knew arrive shortly after Mr. Yeager did on Sunday evening, and she undertook an ambitious venture in extortion.
There's a sketch here of you, Julia.
Yes, and the fact that it is in this folder makes it highly unlikely that Miss McGee is the killer, because Miss Perez sketched only those she did not know.
There are pictures here of Meg Duncan.
Miss Perez kept pictures of those she knew and sketches of those she did not. Are you familiar with this photograph?
Don't be preposterous.
Preposterous? Your face is here. I understand from Mrs. Yeager that ever since Mr. Yeager became vice president, he has been an imminent threat to your leadership.
She would.
I have talked to others.
I don't have to listen to this.
I advise you to. Clearly, Julia might have told you of her appointment, so you knew Yeager would be there waiting. The problem was the keys. Did he ever ask you to loan him yours, Miss McGee?
No. I don't have to know.
This is Mr. Arthur Wenger. Mr. Wenger, do you recognize this man who stands before you?
Of course. It's Mr. Aiken. He was in my shop one day last week to get dupes made for a set of abloy keys.
How sure are you?
I couldn't be more sure. You see, people are a lot like keys. They look alike, but they're different. I don't know faces as well as I know keys, but I look at keys and I look at faces.
An excellent habit. Thank you, sir.
I got the receipt.
The mote in my eye, sir, was your avowed concern for the reputation of your corporation. It could hardly be reconciled with leaving the body of its vice president to be found on the floor in that room. But envy and despair were at your innards, and your need to disgrace him dominated you utterly.
I don't have to listen to this. I won't.
Will you risk prison for this man, Miss McGee?
Hold your tongue. He's tricked you once before, and he'll do it again.
You're a fool. A bumbling old fool. If you had any brains at all, you'd... Yes, I lent him my keys. And I told him I would be there Sunday night, so he knew Mr. Yeager would be there. I had promised to keep him informed. Informed. God, I was the fool.
Fool doesn't do you justice, madam. Harpy or Lamia, perhaps. Phooey, go! My eyes are inured to ugliness, but you offend me. Go! So much for what is done. Now what to do. You are doomed, sir. However, I would like to satisfy the terms of my engagement and protect the reputation of your corporation. I doubt much if you care at this point, but to that end, I have prepared this document, which I suggest that you copy in your own handwriting and sign. Even if you are not convicted, the trial, the exposure...
Shut up! I, Benedict Aiken, killed Thomas Yeager because he threatened my control of the corporation I had labored years to build. Yes! I shot him in the head and transported his body to a construction site on 82nd Street and covered it with a tarp to postpone its discovery. I feel he deserved to die, and I express no remorse for my deed.
I feel he deserved to die, and I express no remorse for my deed. Benedict Aiken.
When was the body found, Archie?
Thursday afternoon by the maid. He mailed that letter, then he went home, then he shot himself.
Gentlemen of the Board of Continental Plastics, if this affair had been left to the police, there would have been a trial. The existence of that room would have been bruited about in the press, and Mr. Aiken would have been, instead of the subject of a brief sensation, the center of a prolonged hullabaloo. Do you question my assessment of my services at $50,000?
I don't.
No, we don't question that.
We can't.
Would a certified check be adequate?
I prefer cash.
You shall have it then.
I owe you a fee, too.
Oh, I have your dollar. I'll keep that. You may have copies of Mr. Aiken's statement. They're cheap at that price. I must excuse myself. I have a prior engagement.